Welcome back to Event 1 here on the World Surf League Championship Tour. It is the Quiksilver Pro and round 1 underway with Heat 3 hitting the water right now. Jordy Smith, Connor Coffin and Pat Gudauskas. Ronnie Blakey here, joined by Peter Mel. Pete, great to see you again, mate, and welcome to the Gold Coast.
The waves are here, and I love that. Day 1 of competition, and we're already off and running. First wave here from Jordy Smith, and is he going to be a title contender again this year? I guess the questions will be answered momentarily. You know, I feel like you get to see a vibe, and you get to see how these guys have worked the off season and what equipment changes have happened, what psychological changes they've happened. You know, you look at this first wave here, kind of a bit of a warm up for him. You know, not going to be a big score, but he does look like he's solid on his feet, as he always does. I would say so, but I think that the surfers that are going to excel in this event are probably not going to have those nerves. You know, they've done the hard work. They know they've done the hard work, and they're going to come out into this event feeling like they've accomplished something in the off season. You know, you see Connor Coffin. You know, he's been at home, I think, and he's had to actually get on a plane to find waves. It's been a little bit tough on the California coast, especially in Santa Barbara, to find good quality surf. I mean, generally he could be training at Rincon, but there hasn't been any swell there. So he's had to get on the road and find some surf.
Definitely had a fantastic performance over there in Hawaii at the end of last season, though. Not just with the jersey on, but all his free surfing vision, photos that were captured of him from the winter just gone were pretty incredible. He, of course, had that big breakthrough result at Sunset. So he's going to be carrying a whole lot of confidence coming into 2018.
And keep himself on that championship tour. Always tough when you come into the end of the season and you're feeling like you have to qualify. You know, again, very similar styles, from Connor and Jordy. I mean, they're a little different, but I mean, as far as the way they approach surf, riding waves on the championship tour, utilizing the rail. I mean, and they're both so solid. I mean, you would have to say that these two guys are going to be the ones that you would say as top 3 on tour for utilizing the rail and really sinking it as much as they possibly can. And I love Connor. You know, he was a perfect person to come onto that championship tour and fit right into all of the venues we have.
To Snapper Rocks as it brings it around and lines it up nicely. Here goes Connor Coffin on wave number 2 for 2018, and he's going to get stuck inside this one.
You got to look at where his upbringing was. It's a barreling type of waves.
Connor Coffin there, just a brief ride. He's going to kick out. No big numbers for him just yet, but he is out in front. And Jordy Smith in second spot. Going to be fun to watch. Totally agree. We'll see battles go right down to the wire now in that 4th round. 16.5 minutes remaining here. Jordy Smith having a look at this one. Last year's world number 4, drawing off the bottom, up into the lip. So hitting this wave in all the right sections, but it's not really allowing him to open up just yet. Hoping that this one sticks to the bank and reels off through the inside, providing something to attack on the inside now. Just rolling with it. You just never know what might transform down the line here at Snapper Rocks once you move past Little Marley. But Jordy, a bit of a sleepy ride so far as he climbs up into the lip once again, just working this wave over.
Watch out, Strider. And I feel like that's why it's so interesting, is that you're going to see surfers on tour right now as we watch Pat.
Pat Gudauskas. This is his second ride. Pretty decent looking wall on the outside. Just cutting back, sticking with this one. See him just standing on that tail, waiting for the wave to do its thing. Not much he can do at this point in time as the wave flattens out. He's going to call for a ride. That jet ski assist comes in very handy when you're fighting that sweep. But Strider Wasilewski out there watching on. Strider, how was that last exchange for you?
Regards to requalification and world titles.
Here we go, Jordy Smith. Just stomping on the tail, finding some cover and still trying to push through that curtain. That wave pinched up on him and he couldn't find the exit.
You know, probably in the upwards of the 3 had he finished it. Love that technique there from Jordy Smith. Again, realizing how important that first section is with this lower tide, and it's steeper out there, and the barrels are what paid off in the heat previous.
More this season, you can tell he's riding a JS in this heat. He's been on the Channel Islands boards for a number of years now. But he's going to experiment with some different shapers just to find a fresh feel. As we see Connor now. And him trying to find some flow on this tricky, just disjointed wave. Up into the section. Drifts that tail, just gets a little lost trying to ride out of that maneuver. 12 minutes remaining.
Connor has his own equipment that he's designed with Channel Islands, but for this type of conditions, he feels like the Fever's one to ride. Watch this replay here. So you feel like the wave choice again is that you see this line that has the ability to come back at you as the wave kind of heads down the bank, and that's why he made the choice here. But this one again with that deeper hole, it doesn't really ever steepen up, and that's a problem because it takes away from scoring potential. You want those steeper sections really, and then the fall here at the end.
10.5 minutes remaining. Some movement here. Just beyond the rocks there at Snapper. Gudauskas up. Jordy Smith right behind him. Nice hit on that first turn. Climbing up over the section, trying to stay as critical as possible. Showing some nice variety on this wave. And even though this one is, it has closed out already, Jordy mixing things up pretty nicely. He's not going to link it through to the inside, but I think just that smooth combination of turns on the outside could see this go probably in as the highest number in the heat so far. And the year prior to that was the same, only one heat that went 18 point plus. But this wave was ridden during the break.
A little cleaner face for Patrick here. And I've seen this board under his feet, so he is not actually, looks like, going into a brand new equipment. He's going to an Old Faithful. And sometimes a surfer is so comfortable on certain equipment that you'll just keep that board on ice. You'll keep it in the locker. Don't ride it very often unless it's in competition because you're so comfortable with it. But that's going to be one of his better waves for Pat Gudauskas. I mean, I don't think he'll break the 3-point zone, but it keeps him in contention in this heat.
Still in this one as well, chasing a 5.73. Jordy Smith, the current leader, is up at the moment, stalling for the barrel. He'll find some cover and the exit. Out onto that open face, just nursing that turn, a bit of bump on that wall, so wants to make sure he completes this ride. And now starting to loosen up and throw some more major turns. You can see the challenges there as Jordy tries to drive through those open face carves. This has been a pretty decent ride though, well put together.
There's an adjustment period. Beautiful wave here for Jordy, and what I really like about this barrel is the fact that his exit, he came straight out of the hole, right at the end of the barrel, right before it kind of clamped down, so the judges will take note of that because the exit needs to be as clean as the entry into the barrel. And again, he actually was able to pick up a few maneuvers on this wave too, so he really solidified this score by executing the barrel on that steep takeoff from the outside, and he read it perfectly, and then his maneuvers through this inside section were solid as well. So you'd expect this to go into the good range, and he's definitely going to improve his position as we watch now on the outside section. Connor Coffin, nice layback snap, and that's one of his go-to turns that has scored so high for him. And this wave being wave number 2, you can see the wave face a little cleaner compared to Jordy's. So this is definitely going to be Connor's best wave too. Again, beautiful arcs, especially when you see where he gets that maneuver done with a straight up approach to the lip and then carves his board all the way around, almost 360 degrees on rail. That's a hard maneuver to do. And again, with that cleaner face, he was able to do that. So good choice of waves by Connor. So these are the 2 best waves of the heat here. Also, Pat got in the mix, a little bigger wave, so a nice 3-wave set, but this one looked like it came after by a few waves because he's definitely not having that cleaner face. The outside section didn't really come together for him. He did what he could with the bumpier face, but this may go into his top 2 just because of the size of the wave, but it's not going to put him in that number 1 spot. I think Jordy's definitely going to be still there with a good number. Connor will be chasing, but the clock is just ticking away. Only a minute to go.
So seeing some decent numbers starting to roll through for our competitors now. Jordy Smith has just put away a 6.83. So Connor Coffin. We'll see what his score came through at as we see Jordy up once again. A nice clean face stretching out. I'm liking the look of this JS under Jordy's feet at the moment. This wave just really fading away through to the inside, but the heat coming to a close. And Connor found himself a 7.33, so the highest scoring ride of the heat, but he was left chasing a 4.33 in the final stages. So it looks like Jordy Smith is going to sneak a round 1 win here in Heat 3.